Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, X. It is wonderful to have you guys here as we are getting close to the end of the qualifying session. So, for the end of practice, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting close to getting ready here as we start to see the drivers now are about to, we're going to turn the garage real quick, and we start now see Alex Arduin. He is out on the track. This is going to be your champion leader here as we start to see everybody roll out here in the Porsche. We did see a lot of rain in the practice session. The track is greasy, so it's still going to try to warm itself up, so hopefully the drivers can do a little bit of things. So that's right, ladies and gentlemen, 40 minutes of rain earlier in this practice session prior to the start of this qualifying session. So the track is going to be greasy. The drivers are definitely going to have to be putting themselves in. I just want to say thank you and welcome back to all the drivers after Christmas break special as we enter into the New Year special here at GT Meister Racing. And huge shout out to the viewers. ARL Wolf 21, how's it going, boys? How is it going with you, sir? All the way out in Singapore. It is truly an honor to have you here in the league, and definitely welcome. BRL Wraith, I'm ready for this. Let's go. Hoop was looking strong during the practice session, so definitely have to keep an eye on where he is out on track. For those that do not know who Hoopalicious is in the Discord, his name is going to be Jaden Munoz here, ladies and gentlemen, in the Audi Evo 2. That nice and silver red looking Audi working his way around the grid here on the back half of Sector 2 into Sector 3, coming up to the hairpin here at Zolder. Nightcrawler says, have a good race, folks. And Dad Nato, good luck to everyone tonight. I'm out for the remainder of the season. No, man, we wish you the best, and hopefully we can definitely get you in on a commentary thing. Casey, that would be an awesome thing to see you here. Here we see Munoz definitely getting the brakes warmed up as he's about to get out on track, and he's about to start his flyer, ladies and gentlemen. Here he goes across the line down into turn 1. Looking nice and tight. Let's see how he does as he carries around this corner here. Looking strong. Here he goes through turn 2 and 3. This beautiful complex of double apexes here. You got to definitely line that up as he comes into turn 4. Here he goes through nice and tight around this bend here. Utilizing all that curb there. Here comes the first chicane. What can he do? Ooh, sending it into the ceiling as we go through. Definitely doing the low orbit test here in that Audi, coming around to the second chicane. And we see Irfan. Irfan is returning. Definitely a good show out of 20 drivers so far, as we have a yellow sector. And looks like the drivers dropped back into the pit, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on everybody else. Looks like that was Matt Artem, and looks like number 64, Andy Ollie, definitely looking to find a place to go around the track. Here comes Jaden as we see Alex Arduin setting a 130.1 on a green track as these drivers start to develop their pace and figure everything out. Oliveira down 1.25 off the pace. Ooh, there goes Hoop, 0.040 off the pace of Alex Arduin. That's definitely going to be an interesting one. Here comes Andre Alex Afonso in the Lexus. What can he do as he crosses the line? He's only about a second off the pace of our provisional pole leader of Alex Arduin. We're also going to drop back. Let's see Matt Byrne in that McLaren as he comes on the main straight. He's going to have Andre Lloyd. Lloyd goes 6th. Matt Byrne, P2. Irfan came back super fast at Imola. Wasn't there to showcase his pace in the last 2 races, but he is here. He sets a provisional pole of a 129.5. After talking to a lot of the drivers during the week and during their practice session, we saw a lot of the drivers, some of them pulling out 128, super low, possible 127s here at this track. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Andrew Cooper, P11, York, P10, Louis Benara, P9, Ricky Scott, P8, Liam McNeil, P7. So these drivers are definitely riling in some numbers. Here goes York, P4. He's going to have a few cars right behind him. And around the bends they go. He's going to have Andrew Cooper, Liam McNeil, and then he looks like he's going to have Ricky Scott right behind them. So we're going to have a trio of McLaren drivers working their way around the grid here. So we'll see how they can set each other up. The McLaren's definitely not a strong car here based on the curbing in which that they're going to have to try to drive through here. So that'll definitely be an interesting one. Farmer, P4, 4/10 off the pace. Alex Arduin resets provisional pole with a 129.480. We still have 14 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. The track is green, and it's working up. It's still warm. So as the track warms up, times will start going down. Trickling effect. Here we go. York down in the final chicane. Andrew Cooper and Ricky Scott in follow of the qualifying session. Afonso still 6, Oliveira 7. Here they go. York doesn't improve. Actually, York does improve to P8. Ricky Scott jumps him to P8. Now York down to 9. Let's take a look. Who else is on a flyer? Andrew Cooper came back through. He was 2/10 up. Matt Artem isn't picking up a whole lot of pace. Who else is on a super flyer? Jaden Muniz, 7/10 through sector 2 into 3. Coming up over the crest of the hill into the hairpin. He's going to see the full T of the BMW right in front of him. 8/10 will slot him into P3 around there. Maybe even a little bit more. He's still 7 off the pace. Can he get the 8s? Stefan Buckley, yo, GTMR dudes. Donato, let's go, Louis. He's got even more pace in that Merc. He does have a lot more pace in that Merc, and he crosses the line. Where does it put him? P3, ladies and gentlemen. Full T up to P4. He is 0.08 off the pace ahead of Farmer there in that P4 spot. The track is definitely picking up. Irfan now retakes qualifying with a 29.0. Ricky Scott, 5/10 up through the hairpin. He goes. Wait for the camera to reset. Cameraman's about to lose his job being a little bit slow there. Welcome, Stefan Buckley. Stefan Buckley, I miss my GTMR folks. Mr. Buckley, we miss you too as well. Everything is starting to spice up here in this race. Here we go, McLaren. The McLarens are definitely trailing everybody as we see Cooper jumps to 10. Ricky Scott does not move up York. So now we have a 4 McLaren streak. 10, 11, 12, and 13. What else do we have moving up? James Park is up 1.3 seconds on his time. Can he slot him in higher? He can, up to P16, right behind McNeil. Andy Ollie bringing himself P13, a little bit off the pace, but he's still looking really good. Now let's take a look at the fast boys up front. Here comes Farmer, 5/10 up, going into the final corner and onto the main straight. Farmer in the Porsche, 5/10. Can he reel him in? Waiting for it to update. Looks like he possibly invalidated that lap. It would have put him at a 129.2. Ladies and gentlemen, but it looks like he invalidated. His best is a 129.7. Irfan is up 1/10. That's your provisional pole leader. Right now, your biggest mover on the track now is McNeil. 6/10 up on his time in that Audi Evo 2 as he comes out of that little tight sweeping hairpin. We see full T again in the cameras. McKenna and Jake Johnson still has yet to set a time. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on them and see where they slot themselves in. Louis Benara is up a second with McNeil. Where's Louis on the track? Number 12. He is actually right behind McNeil. Here comes McNeil through the final corner onto the main straight. Louis will be following him. Both up a second. Crosses the line. Jumps to P13. Here comes Louis Benara up a second. Ooh, 9/10. Crosses the line, P15. Here we go. Nick Kaufman in the GTR. 7/10 up. It's going to reel him in even closer to Jay Parks. McKenna is off 1.7 seconds off his pace in that M6. Looking super racy. As we see Alex Ardoin right behind him. Irfan with a 128.8 in this green light track. So everybody's definitely, thank you for the follow in Can Raptor. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to have you here. It's definitely a blessing and an honor to have you here. All right, Wolf says, me too, and I miss the racing. We definitely miss having you here, so hopefully you can get some free time to join us. Here comes Alex Ardoin. He's going to take a look and possibly try to leapfrog, but he knows McKenna's probably on a fast lap. So he's probably going to just check out, let the man have his lap, just get a bit of a time set in there. As Irfan sits provisionally pole with a 128.8. And we see Munoz with a 0.065 off the pace in the Audi. As Alex Ardoin makes his way, McKenna bringing himself P18, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who else is on a fast lap. Matt Artem, 3/10 coming out so far at the start of this lap. 3/10 coming up to the first sector. Here he goes, heavy in the braking. Nice run, utilizing a little bit of that Kirby, get a little bit of the low orbital space as he comes around the bend here. Let's ask the chat right now, who do you think is going to win this race? And who do you think possibly is going to be the top qualifier here with 10 minutes left? Everybody's starting to pick up the pace, and they're starting to find faster times here. Right now, it shows that the Honda is looking to be the fastest here so far, followed by Audi, Porsche, BMW, McLaren, Porsche, and Audi, with a lone solo Lexus there, sitting there in P9. Here we go, Matt Artem 1.4 off the pace. He lost a lot of his time down into the on this lap so far. It shows that he's up 2/10 coming around the final corner. Caught a little bit of the curb, but did he lose all of it onto the main straight? Oh, slotted up to P8, that 2/10. Here comes Arduin up to the final 2 corners. He's up 4/10. This will put him provisionally on pole, ladies and gentlemen. Here he goes onto the main straight, 3/10. This will give it to him. And he slots with a 1:28.7, 2/10 faster than the Honda driver, Mohammed Irfan. As we go through, Matt Byrne, the driver out of Apollo. Thank you for the follow, Train Boy. 2005. Sorry we couldn't get you in here, but we'll definitely get you in next week. Welcome to the stream as we get going here. Matt Byrne sitting there, P6, 1.1 off the pace of our provisional pole sitter. So let's take a look. Irfan in that Honda. Going through, looks like he caught a lot, but he's still looking good. He's up 2/10 now in that purple, white, and bluish Honda there as he comes through 3/10 up now. We can't wait to have you here as well. Train Boy, it'll definitely be interesting to see how you perform with everybody, but I'm sure you will do wonderful just like everybody in the league. As Dad Nato says, Arduin will win, but Irfan will take the pole. And it is definitely, look at Irfan actually lost that time there in the little bit of the corner. He's off a whole entire second. But let's take a look. Fulte up 3/10, Byrne up 5/10. So the times are picking up even with a green track. Here comes Fulte. He's coming out of Sector 2 into Sector 3. Where's Byrne? Byrne is in Sector 1 now, so we'll keep an eye on Fulte here real quick as he comes through the hairpin in Sector 3 and onto the little bitty short shoot chicane here, as we like to call it. Here he comes through. Accelerated out up to the final chicane with 7 minutes left to play. Here he comes through nice and tight. Runs a lot of that curb out of the back end. A little bit of snap on the rear. He's still up on his time. Byrne seems to lost all that time that he was originally up. Irfan up 3/10 now. Irfan here 3/10 up following McKenna in the M6. McKenna is going to move possibly out of the way. Oh, a little bit of a tap in the rear. Ooh, there goes his lap there. Now Matt Byrne still up. He's up a 10th now, so that 10th will help him reel in a little bit. As he's going through Sector 1. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at Andy Ollie in that McLaren in Sector 1 up to the first chicane. Oh, I apologize. The final chicane. Andy Ollie around the final corner onto the main straight in that McLaren. Huge shout out to having Andy Ollie here. As he's about to cross the line. What does he do? Slots him up P10. He's joined the McLaren duo of Andrew Cooper and Ricky Scott. Huge shout out to him as we watch these drivers work. The Chrysler York 6/10 up. 6/10 will put him up with his McLaren boys. The McLaren trio. Here he goes through up to the final hairpin. He's got the GTR of Kaufman as they work their way through, coming up to the final chicane. Here they go through and around the bend. York's provisionally fast time is a 1:31.0. Here he goes, crosses the line, slots himself in. We have 4 McLarens in a row. And right now, Chrysler York with a little bit of a tap. Here comes McNeil. McNeil through the final corner onto the main straight in the Audi. He's up 3/10. He can reckon the party of the McLarens, and he does. Slots himself P11. Let's take a look. Who else is on a flyer? We see Jaden Munoz. 2/10 up. He's about to cross the line. Boom. Provisional pole with a 28.6 Farmer. 2/10 up on his time. 3/10 now. Coming into the final corner. And around the bend onto the main straight. What can he do with the Porsche? That all-black Porsche. Does not look like he's going to improve. He does just a little bit to slot himself P4. The track is still green with 4 minutes left to play. Let's see, Andre Lloyd, 3/10 up in the Porsche as he comes into the hairpin. Super late on the braking with the Pac-Man machine. As Train Boy says, damn, I would have been P10 right now. I probably would be right around James Parks there because that's the guy I want to battle. I want to battle James Parks. And here goes the Porsche, the Pac-Man Porsche, onto the main straight, 3/10 up on his time as he crosses the line. P13, the Porsche is in the McLaren party. Here comes Louis Benara, crests over the hill, down into the hairpin. That Mercedes-Benz is spitting fire and looking fast, ladies and gentlemen. Irfan is up 2/10 on his time. Irfan can't snatch away. Now 3/10. We're going to have to keep an eye on him, and we're going to jump along board with him. Looks like Irfan is coming into the hairpin. Oh, it's Louis Benara, slots himself P16. Mohammed Irfan now down through the final corner. He still has 2/10 onto the main straight. And Irfan snatches pole away by .033. Alex are doing .073 off the pace of the provisional pole sitter. There's still space for you, Casey. You're more than welcome to join in, sir. We still have more than enough space for you to join in and race with us. As we see, Jaden is up 3/10 right now. Where is he? He's in the middle of the sector. The Audi driver looking super strong. Looks like he lost his time coming out of that corner. Here he goes through. Louis through McKenna. Now here comes the Audi. Can he? Looks like Muniz is off the pace, lost 2/10. Who's up on a faster time right now? And it looks to be Ricky Scott onto the main straight with 2 minutes left to play. Crosses the line. It's going to jump him up to P10. He's now ahead of the McLaren duo. Now can Andrew Cooper take it back? Looks like Andrew Cooper is going to be coming out of the pits here, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to be a part of his McLaren duo. Andrew Cooper letting everybody by. Weird spot to park it right there at that part of the apex here. Matt Byrne up 2/10. 2/10. What will it give him? 7/10 now off the fast pace of Irfan. Matt Artem 3/10. He just went through the hairpin onto the little straightaway, through the little short chute. Here we go. Beautiful run through onto the main straight. Here comes the Audi of Matt Artem. 2/10 is going to give it to him. He's going to stay in P8, but improves on his time. Track is still green. Does not look like Irfan is up on his time. Let's take a look. Where's Irfan? Irfan is coming through sector, through the first chicane right now. So he's only up 1/10. Let's see, who's a big mover? McKenna in the M6. He's going to have Jaden Munoz right in front of him. He's up 4/10 now into the hairpin. What can the M6 driver do as he goes super wide? Here goes Jaden down on the inside. McKenna still 3/10 up on his time. As a driver, you really don't want to concede your... Ooh. This is the issue. Thank you for the follow, LDR Redeemer. McKenna was looking super strong, was up 6/10 on his time going into that final chicane. But then Jaden was right there. A lot of these drivers really need to talk to each other and figure out where they are at in track. Here comes Irfan. He crosses the line with McNeil. Did not improve on his time. Let's see, take a look at the other drivers and let's see where we are at here. The green track grip is making look everyone scruffy. It is, but you know, it's part of the learning experience here at GTMR. We try to give everybody more of a realistic life scenario. A lot of times the track isn't going to be 100% optimum. Sometimes it's going to be fast. Sometimes it's going to be green depending on the weather conditions. And it's definitely, you know, it's definitely going to be something that, you know what I mean, I'm happy that the drivers love to be a part of and love to be a thing. As Ichigo says, great to have the PC side of the league to watch while waiting for the second season of the Xbox series. That is correct, Ichigo. I am super excited on the Xbox side. We right now have, 50 drivers with the Xbox roll here on the ACC Xbox side of the league. Definitely interesting to see how many people are fully signed up. If last time I checked, I believe it was right around 22 to 23 people signed up for Season 2. Our amateur series is fully filled with 15 drivers. We have 12 pro drivers already on the Xbox side of things, so that's going to be 27 drivers. Huge shout out to the Xbox side. Can't wait to see as that season starts. For those that want to know when it's going to start, it's going to be January 8th. As we see Farmer 2/10 up coming out of the final chicane onto the main straight. What can he do? Oh, just slots himself. P4, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Irfan with the provisional pull with the Honda. Munoz, P2 are doing P3. Farmer, P4. Fulte, P5. Bird on his opening debut race, P6 with Munoz as his opening day race. He's going to slot in there, P2. Definitely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So racers can pass in quali now. It's really interesting to say that, to pass in qualifying. Personally, I don't think, like drivers should really be, we're going to jump in here real quick. Let's try to, hey, there we go. Oh, hello. For those that do not know, hey, haha, it's been a while. We've been on break, ladies and gentlemen. The track walk with the drivers as everybody is getting ready now. And here we go. Have the Honda of Irfan on the pole position here with Jaden Muniz in the Audi, followed by Alex Arduin in the beautiful GTMR Porsche. And Taylor Farber, your provisional C4, not provisional, your winner of Season 4, ladies and gentlemen, in the Porsche, followed by Fulte in the BMW, Byrne in the McLaren, followed by Oliveira in the Porsche, followed by Matt Artem in the Audi, Alexandre Afonso in the Lexus, followed by Ricky Scott being the faster McLaren of the bundle, P10 Chrysler York, P11 Andy Ollie, P12 McNeil, P13 we have Andrew Cooper bringing out P14 Andre Lloyd, 15 Louis Bonara, 16 James Park, 17 we have Jake Johnson, P18 McKenna in 19 Kaufman, P20 and Casey Bennett, driver who missed out on qualifying but managed to make it home here in this race. He is going to slot himself into P21. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The grid for round 4 at Zolder for ACC PC at GT Meister Racing. I'm your host, Exia. We have a minute left to go. The track is optimal. The question is, will it rain here like it did in qualifying, or will it just be a dry race, ladies and gentlemen? That is definitely the interesting one that a lot of people want to know. That is definitely what I would like to know. Stephon Buckley's drivers can pass in quali now. It's very interesting. I don't like when drivers pass in qualifying, especially when the other driver's on a fast lap. But a lot of times you run into issues where, because you don't have people in VC, a lot of people don't really fully communicate and talk about, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm there. So where you run into a lot of those issues. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that. But, I mean, it happens in qualifying sessions, and all we can do is just run through our paces. With 20 seconds left to go, we are about to get started here. Train Boy says Matt's livery looks like an art project. It does. I told him it looked like a Picasso painting in practice session with him going around. I'm going to practice the 4 Hungaro ring. Hungaro ring is definitely going to be an interesting one. Really tough battles. I'm going to definitely see Ember in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Farmer's #1 fan. As we start to see the drivers roll out, there goes Irfan, followed by Muniz and Arduin. Looks like Muniz is still practicing that auto engine start and stop here. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen, as we start to see. And there is your provisional pole sitter, Irfan, in that Honda, followed by Jaden Muniz. P2, Alex Arduin. P3, Taylor Farmer. P4, the driver that we've seen in GTMR showcase a lot of his pace and performance at the LFM Pro Series. Definitely be interesting to see how that plays. Fulte bringing it in P5, looking super strong. Was a little bit worried about the rain, but good to see him in P5. Matt Byrne in the Picasso painted McLaren, bringing it into P6. Jonathan Oliveira, P7. Matt Artin, P8. Andre Alex Afonso, P9, with Ricky Scott, P10. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your top 10 with the drivers working their way around through the grid. Ichigo says, grid looks close. Maybe 3 groups of cars based off quali. Exciting grid. It is super exciting. The grid has been nothing but tight here so far this season 5 of GTMR. For those that are watching that are on the PC side and that would like to join, we still have space available for you to join in. It's definitely going to be an interesting battle, as well as if you're an Xbox driver and you want to join in and race, join in on the Xbox side. Reach out to myself, Exia, Skep, and or Gucci Lucci in the Discord, and we'll definitely help you out in getting signed up and getting ready in this league here. Sprightly says, good luck, fellas. Good luck indefinitely, Sprightly. And good luck to you guys as well on January 8th as the Xbox Series will be starting up here. So this is definitely looking to be a very tough and wonderful race. The temperatures are cold. The track is optimum. And we're looking good to start the race here. As we go through the hairpin, these drivers are going to start to line up. Honda, Audi, Porsche. It is going to be looking like a very tough front row battle for these drivers here as we start to see everybody line themselves up side by side. Here we go, everybody. Drivers, the calm before the storm, everybody, as they work their way down the grid. Green, 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 and we are ready to go. Here they come down into turn 1. Arduin covering the inside, side by side. Here they go, heavy on the brakes. Down through Munoz. Tries the outside, down into the inside, down into turn 2. Here they go, the Audi driver making it squeeze right through Arduin. Farmer, Fulte, Byrne, as they work their way through. Munoz still on the inside. Now Arduin's taking a look. Irfan on the outside as they tap side by side. Here goes Irfan. Ooh, little bit of an issue. He lost the back end as we have a little bit of a pile up here in this race. Oh, man. We will be right back. Ladies, I apologize by that. This is the second time we've had to restart the race due to a 20 car, about a half a grid pile up here at the start of the race. It's something that I don't really care to see, and I apologize to everybody in the grid in the order for that. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for that. But we'll definitely get started here as we go. Here with the counter as it counts down. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for that as we get started here. Ricky Scott coming in P21. Interesting what happened there in the restart phase. As we go through here, I apologize. Nightcrawler said, what did I miss? A world's largest half the grid crash. So definitely be interesting to see how this plays out. Now after this session here, yes, a pileup at turn 3, yes. A pileup with, is it 3 or 4? I feel like it's 3. Because 2 and 3 are like a double apex corner. I feel like it's 3. But it did, yeah, it was a bit of a pileup, so thankfully the drivers are still here. We were able to restart. It was still early in the session for us to get going here, so that is definitely going to be a new one here for the stream, ladies and gentlemen, as we get. Train Boy says, not the biggest I've seen. Yes, it's not the biggest, but, you know, here at GTMR, I want to give everybody an adequate time and chance to race, things like that, and then having half the grid. So after this, what happens, happens. I can't control everything that happens after this, so it'll definitely be an interesting one at the start of this race. So if there's a big pileup, it'll be definitely interesting to see what happens after this. LFM rookie has the biggest. Yes, I've heard the stories of LFM rookies. Stefan Buckley, as we get going here, the drivers are going to have another formation lap, so hopefully we can get going here. This isn't something that I pride myself on the quality of races at GTMR, and it's a little bit of a shame to see that happen. But hey, look, thankfully it was early enough in the race that we could reset, get everything going here, and get running. So definitely be interesting to see what happens here after this race once we start up here, ladies and gentlemen. Ichigo says, that's nice of the PC side to do a little redo for a first lap carnage. Usually we don't fully reset. Ichigo, usually we don't fully reset if it's like one or two cars, we don't fully reset. But when it's like half the grid, I know some of the drivers may be a little upset, like by everything because of the fact that it was, you know, some of them had moved up. I was in P7, I was in P8, I was in P9, you know what I mean, things like that. But, you know what I mean, it's definitely something, you know, as we see one of the drivers, it looks like Fulte in the back there, utilizing the grass and the dirt to warm up his tires. But, you know what I mean, it's, yeah, you know what I mean. Train Boy, in the Glen crash, I finished upside down. Wow, what an amazing thing. So definitely be interesting. Hello to all the YouTubers that are actually also watching as well as Twitch. Looks like we have 2 viewers from YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Definitely awesome to have you guys here as well watching with us. And here we go. The drivers are coming through the track. Looks like Matt Byrne definitely trying to get those tires nice and warm as we work our way around here. So now that after the restart, let's see what we can do, ladies and gentlemen, here as we get going. figure out who the triangle is. Triangle. Here we go, side by side. Round 2 of round 4. Because it was a restart, so let's see what these drivers can do. 7:28 p.m. The drivers are lining themselves up, coming into the final chicane. There will be no more resets after this. Here they come through the final corner. Here we go. Green, green, green. Ooh, Jake Johnson gets a drive-through at the start of the race. Everybody's still looking super spicy. Alex Arduin covers the inside. Munoz tries. Looks like he lost a little bit of the pace after that restart there. Here comes Alex Arduin trying to go around the outside, down in the inside. Looks like we have Bird, Folty, Oliveira, everybody battling in the back of the pack. Bird, here comes Oliveira crossing sections with Matt Artem here through turn 3 here as they go through single file down into the corner. Here coming up to the first chicane. Everybody looking super fast. Matt Bird looks to possibly take the move on the inside. Ooh, looks like Farmer utilizing all the curb. People saying no to the corner as they work their way down through the grid up to the second chicane here. As we watch the drivers come through, Irfan leading into this race as they work their way through. Looks like Casey Bennett slotted himself up to P18, one of the big movers right behind Ricky Scott as these drivers work their way through the grid. Ooh, looks like there's a little bit of a cluster in the back of the grid here. And looks like one of the drivers possibly had a bit of an incident, Ricky Scott. Louis Benara as we go through here. Here we go, Munoz on the back end of Irfan as they work their way through Alex Arduin. Can the leaders, they are freight training right now, ladies and gentlemen. 3/10, 6/10, 5/10, 9/10, 6/10. As they work their way through, Jake Johnson's going to have to jump into the pits within 3 laps for his drive-through, and it looks like he jumped into it with a drive-through. Matt Bird, Munoz, Arduin, Farmer, all looking super fast on this opening lap as they work their way around the grid. Louis Benara looking super slow. Kaufman's looking very slow here. McKenna's in the pit. Jake Johnson is serving his drive-through. Here they come. Munoz now being attacked by Alex Arduin in this opening stage of the lap. You see Oliveira back there with Artem. The Porsche drivers trying to hold it in as much as possible as they work their way through the grid. McNeil up into P11. Andy Ollie 10. Afonso 9. Arduin now getting the run on Jaden. What can Jaden cover in the inside? Arduin looks on the inside. Here he goes down into the braking zone. Ooh, Arduin's super late on the brakes in that Porsche, giving him the runaround and the Audi. Here they go. Skeppy saying the Audi looks really good here tonight. Yes, indeed. As Ricky Scott says into the chat, the race tonight's race was a bit of a joke. I'm out. Well, sorry to hear that, as Ricky Scott, as we go into Arduin, is an absolute alien, though. Here comes Alex Arduin, the championship leader. He is definitely trying to come out here strong at Zolder in that Porsche as he's trying to make his moves down on Munoz. Munoz late on the brakes, but the Porsche makes it even later as they come around the bends here. Casey Bennett now up to P14 as he's working his way through the grid here. Andrew Lloyd, Chrysler Yort, they're all battling it out. This is looking super strong up here in the spicy front. We're going to jump down here in the back. Here's Chrysler Yort with Andre Lloyd now behind him, trying to chase him down. McKenna with a 30-second stop go as they work their way through the grid. Here, Andre Afonso working his way around James Parks in the camo McLaren, ladies and gentlemen. Surprised I missed that here. Andre Afonso looks on the inside, tries to throw him off down into the first chicane. Super late on the braking. The Lexus goes. The McLaren's in front of him. Coming out as they crest the hill, Andre Afonso trying to make something stick here. He's going to look for a switch. As we see Afonso still trying to work his way around James Parks here in that P16, P15 spot. James Parks on the outside looking in the championship standing. The Lexus still trying to work his way through the grid. Let's take a look. Closer battle we've got Farmer and Fulte here. Farmer there in that P4 spot with Fulte in that P5. Matt Byrne in that P6 McLaren trying to work his way through down into turn 2. The front runners are still in a pack racing around this grid order as they go through. As Mr. Ricky Scott says, I got demolished in the first start and spun out in the second start. Good shit, sir. I apologize for what happened to you. I mean, there's nothing much that I can do. I, hope that the restart was a better fortune for everybody, and I apologize by that there as we go through. And Skep in the chat, Hoops got the fastest lap. He does, but he's also got Alex Arduin all over the back end of him, working his way through the grid here. Munoz is definitely going to have to try something here, being 7/10 off the pace of the Honda driver. This front pack group is flying as a freight train through Zolder here, ladies and gentlemen. The temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. McKenna dives into the pits to serve his 30-second stop go. What a shame there for him. Let's take a look, see what other close battles we've got going on right now. Let's see. Looks like everybody's starting to pace themselves out here at Zolder, but right now the front pack battle is what is developing here, with Arduin still on the back end of Munoz, working his way around here as we go into lap 4. Question is can the Honda, we saw an issue at Imola, the Honda had a little bit of issues with tire pressures and keeping the tires cool so that they didn't get destroyed. The question is, can the Honda keep that going? As we saw Matt Byrne look at Fulte, he looked from the outside in. We see the sparks, Matt Byrne, there goes the BMW bouncing around to Fulte. Matt Byrne in that McLaren making it look. He's going to try. Is he going to send it on the inside? He doesn't. Catches the brakes a little bit earlier than the BMW. Farmer power sliding through the second chicane as they work their way around the grid. See the BMW losing a little bit. Matt Byrne. Now the Audi of Munoz Arduin is definitely pushing the Irfan in that Honda as we see Fulte covering the inside of Munoz here. As the camera does not like me. And here goes Byrne on the inside, working his way down the drag race into the corner. Byrne super late on the brakes, cover the inside. Fulte definitely having to check out of that corner, but can he get him on the run out? Does not look like the BMW can get him on the run out. Here goes Munoz. He is definitely trying. He was up 4/10, now 6/10. He was losing a little place of the Honda, so he's going to try to recover as much as he can here in this race as Casey Bennett slots himself up to P13. Let's take a look. Where is Fulte? Fulte still on the back end of Byrne. Byrne looking a little strong there in the McLaren as Andre Lloyd dives into the pits. Super early. Looks like he possibly could have had damage there. Ooh. As the sparks shoot up, the BMW gets a better run on the curbs. He's going to try to look for it. He's taking a look on the inside. Byrne's covering it. Says, nope, you stay there. Down into the second chicane. And here we go through. Skeppy into the chat. The incredible thing about Zolder is constant action because the consistency is so dang important around here. It is so dang important around here as these drivers work through. Looks like Munoz lost a little bit of pace. He's now 1.2 seconds off the pace of the leader. And here comes Arduin. Arduin super late into the final chicane with the lights on. We still have 7:47 p.m. on the clock, and we are working our way through the grid as Apollo Racing Club joins in with us. Hey, hey. Well, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Apollo Racing Club. As we see the drivers go through, so we're going to jump down the grid, take a look at some other battles that we have here. Fulte on Matt Byrne. Matt Byrne P5, Fulte P6, 7/10 back working his way through the grid here. We see if Andre Alex Afonso trying to work his way against Andy Ollie. Andy Ollie in the McLaren, definitely going in nice into turn 1, coming up to turn 2, which I still believe, I wholeheartedly believe this is turn 2 and 3. Byrne, as Apollo Racing Club in the chat says, Byrne is a 2-time ARC champion. So we'll definitely have to see how he does here on this race with us. As we go through, Andre Afonso having issues trying to get through past Andy Ollie and working on that Lexus space program I see as these drivers are going through. And now Irfan ran into an issue. Here comes Munoz with Alex Arduin coming up into the final chicane. The Audi driver definitely making that car even more racier than what it was before. Can he stop the battle in the attack of the 2 Porsche drivers right behind him? Alex Arduin's been looking super strong this race. 2-time winner so far in Season 5. As we go through, Fulte is going to be on the back end of Matt Bird here, going into turn 1 and 2 complex here as they go heavy on the brakes. Offloading it, the lights are coming on, the track is still cool. Zolder and no Bentley. It's criminal. It is criminal. We need a Bentley here. And the closest thing we have to a Bentley is a Lexus. Actually, we do have a GTR. And the GTR is P17, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to be an amazing battle. We're actually going to jump down and take a look at that real quick. Because here's Jake Johnson in the BMW trying to take on the Nismo GTR. As they work their way down the back straight into the final chicane. The BMW covering the brakes a little bit earlier than the GTR, trying to get a better run out of that corner. The GTR looking super strong. In the chat, we got Scappy. There would be no flats with the Bentley. Chomp, chomp to the curbs. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Chomp, chomp to the curbs. Andy Ollie having Alex Afonso pass him. Here comes Andy Ollie trying to work a magic around the second chicane. Looking super strong in that black McLaren, still in the point as Louis Bernard up into P15, Casey Bennett P12. Let's take a look. Fulte still 3/10 back from Matt Byrne. Ooh, Andy Ollie super late on the brakes. Looks like he overshot it just a pinch. Threw him off just here and there. As we take a look, what are some of the closer battles? As Jake Johnson got past Kaufman. Let's jump back there, see if the GTR, nope, the GTR lost it to the BMW. As we start to see the lights on the top of these 20 drivers that came out. Huge shout out to the drivers, by the way, that came out and participated tonight. I understand it is New Year's weekend, but you know what they say at GTMR, no weekend. I was going for something, but I couldn't think of anything. Also, a huge shout out to my good friend Pfeiffer, who would have joined me today, but he had to watch the Game of Thrones, the House of the Dragon, which family time is more important than GTR time. So that is perfectly understandable, and I just want to say huge shout out to him and everything that he's going through. Much blessings, much blessings. As we see, Fulte still working on his way to catch the 2-time champion at Apollo Series, Matt Byrne here, that has joined in his first race. So he's definitely looking super strong. Let's take a look down here. Jonathan Oliveira trying to work his way around Liam McNeil, and he's got Andrew Cooper in the McLaren right behind him as well. Oliveira looking like he has a little bit of front end damage on that Porsche. So he's definitely trying to make something happen as well as they come through Chrysler York. We have Chrysler York, Casey Bennett, and let's take a look. Ooh, Casey Bennett, and it looks to be, is Andre Lloyd lap car? He is a lap car. Interesting there. Must have had to fix some damage on that car there with 46 minutes left to play. Let's take a look in the chat. Sprightly says, where's the M6? That is big. Yes, it is. The M6, Mr. McKenna. McKenna down here in P20 in the M6. Very strong driver, definitely has showcased a lot of his pace overall, and there they are all over the grid. 1, 2, 3, nose to tail Someone's going to need a shower after this one, ladies and gentlemen. Here they go through. Farmer still in the outside looking in. 2.9 seconds left to play. Anything can happen. Arduin still working his way through Munoz. Munoz definitely going to have to try to earn his victory. For those that do not know, Munoz is under the name Hoopalicious in the league. He primarily runs in the ACC Xbox League. He wanted to join in with us and race on the PC side. So this is his debut race, and he is definitely getting a taste of speed here at the Zolder as we get going here. Stefan Buckley in the chat says, "Go GTR, the best sounding car ever. Just no first gear." True. Let's take a look here. So definitely a beautiful run here. We're going to drop back down to McNeil, Oliveira, and Andrew Cooper. So now this is going to be a battle for P8. McNeil in the Audi trying to make it work and stick here as we get into lap 10. And the pit window is open with 34 minutes left to play. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one as the drivers work their way through here down into the braking zone as they go through here. Ooh, back end stepping out. Looking super strong. You know, the Porsche there is definitely, it's so interesting. The McLaren brakes are so horrible. The Porsche's brakes are so good. And yet you have the Audi right there who's like towards the middle of the braking marker zone. Ooh, the Porsche getting sent into the air. Oh man, that must have been a little bit of a wild one for Andrew Cooper to take a look at as they go through up into the second chicane. Everybody utilizing as much track as they possibly can here in this race. But we're going to jump right back up aboard Alex Arduin, 2/10 back, and we're going to see them starting to reach Kaufman, P18, the P18 driver in the GTR here. So as the lights drop down, drivers are definitely going to get a different pace and seeing as Ricky Scott said, "Thanks for the season next year. I'm out. A reserve driver can race the rest of the season in my place." What a shame there. Ricky, we would love to still have you here. One bad race does not determine someone's finale, but to each is their own as we start to see Kaufman trying to move out of the way. Good on him. Hopefully he doesn't slow anybody else up going into it. He doesn't. Here comes Farmer. Farmer makes it through here. What a beautiful run there. Kaufman's definitely going to have to try to make his way through. The grid is going to be an interesting one for Farmer to get through there to catch up to this grid. Right now, Alex Arduin lost a little bit of time with Kaufman there, but the drivers are doing wonderful trying to get through the grid here. Huge shout out to them. How much more can the pack slow them up? Ichigo says traffic, things could get spicy. Yes, it could as we jump back down, and it looks like Oliveira is now dropped back, and now he's got Andrew Cooper, Chrysler, York, and soon to come Casey Bennett in P12, followed by Andre Alex Afonso there in P13 as this starts to develop here. So it's getting spicier in this mid-pack grid. The front is still looking very quick, and now the backpack and the temperature is starting to drop it. So we may start to see esports times here in this race. Andrew Cooper looking, he checks to the outside. Olivier covers the inside, gives him just enough space so he could brake. Here they go through into the final corner. Ooh, the McLaren driver had to check out with Andrew Cooper now getting attacked by Chrysler York. Down into turn one, here's the McLaren driver looking super racy all the way out to the curb. The Porsche driver doing everything he could possibly do. Here they go through final into turn three. Ooh, the Porsche going super wide, catching the dirt. Andrew Cooper trying to recover what he can as they go through here. Looks like we lost two drivers here. What a shame. Looks like McKenna and Kaufman. What a shame there for those two drivers. But we are still 18 strong going into the 40-minute window of this race down into the second chicane. and around the few bends through the second chicane. We lose a little bit, but it looks like Munoz is now putting on the pace. Looks like Alex Arduin had a little bit of an issue and fell back to P16. So now that's going to leave Munoz without Alex Arduin taking the battle to him. But now, so can now Jaden now take the fight to the Honda driver and come out victorious here in this race. That'll be definitely an interesting one through the court. Oh, the Audi driver catching and using all the dirt. Here they go. Farmer now P3, Matt Bird P4. Matt Bird now all over the back end of the Porsche driver. He's going to have full team right behind him as well. Down into the corner, there's Alex Arduin in the GTMR Porsche. Bird definitely sending the McLaren into the sky as we come down and around the bend here. Here we go through late on the braking. The question is who's going to have an issue with the pit stops? When the pit stop rotation starts happening, who's going to get a little bit late on the brakes and who is not? So as we see the drivers come through here, Matt Byrne definitely looking into the hairpin here. Nice, beautiful run coming out of the corner. Looks like Munoz lost some time behind Irfan in that Honda. It is definitely looking really spicy here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. See Alex Afonso, P13. He's going to have Andre Lloyd in front of him, followed by Casey Bennett. So Andre Lloyd, P12. He's going to allow Andre Afonso possibly through. He does. He allows Andre Afonso through. He's going to have Andy Ollie. He thanks him with the flashing lights. Very nice of him to go through here. Andrew Cooper looking super racy. Ricky Scott, well, I don't need more frustration. The huge time of this thing, you can already waste my time with LFM. No team of, and that, hey man, health is wealth, bro. Health is wealth. Even going into 2023, man, I'd rather you be happy to race than constantly frustrated if something happens, you know. But just so you're aware, Ricky Scott, you always have a place here at GTMR. Just want you to know that. You know what I mean? And I hope you come back next season. And if you still want to sit in this season, I can always switch you out to be a reserve just in case if there's available spots, you can come in and race with us. But, I just want to let you know, hey, man, we care about the drivers, you know what I mean? And I just want you to know that. Let's take a look at Andrew Cooper still working on Oliveira down into the second chicane. 4/10 off the pace. Munoz has now dropped to a whole entire second off the leader of Irfan in that Honda. So right now, Andrew Cooper trying to reel him in here. So we'll definitely and we will jump along board. We're going to take a look at the inside cam of Andrew Cooper and see what he is seeing here in this race. I did not mean to switch to the camera for the full yeet moment into the final chicane, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, that one was new for me. I've never seen that happen. As Andrew Cooper manages to recover that and looking super strong. Let's take a look back also. And Chrysler Yort is the first to pit in the midfield here in this grid. 36 minutes left to go. That's definitely going to be yeah, I'm fast at Zolder, which is a shame. Could have been an easy top 10, but people decided to pub lobby it tonight. It is a shame for it to happen. It definitely had a league. Louis Benara is in the pits, but hopefully you're able to recover a little bit. You know what I mean? Get your mojo back and get back racing with us, sir. It's truly an honor to have you here racing with us, and I definitely love having you here. As we see Andre Afonso working his way on Casey Bennett, we're going to jump back up here with Andrew Cooper. Andrew Cooper looking super racy. We're probably going to jump along board Matt Byrne here in the P4 spot here in the second. Can Andrew Cooper reel him into this final corner? Super late. The McLaren looking super racy. He does reel him in a little bit. Keep an eye on him as we keep going. Munoz now 1.5 seconds off the pace of Irfan. Andrew Cooper. Ooh. Oliviera dives into the pits, ladies and gentlemen. So now he's going to serve his pits. Now we're going to jump back along board Matt Byrne. Matt Byrne looking super racy here as he's trying to catch Farmer. We still see Andre. Matt Byrne. Everybody is using that curve. I'm waiting for a puncture here in this race, ladies and gentlemen. The lead could be DXD Ichigo says in the chat, the lead could be decided by pit stops based off of his close to the pace is, or how close the pace is. That is very much true there. The pace could, as we see Jake Johnson working his way, allowing the grid through here in this race. Matt Byrne definitely trying to reel Farmer in. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one. So let's take a look. Here comes Casey Bennett in that red Porsche with Andre Afonso. We're at 8:19 here in this race at nighttime. So it's definitely going to get a little bit dark out here at Zolder. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye and see how much that affects these drivers as they come through the grid. That Lexus is looking super spicy. James Parks in the big pit window. Jake Johnson. And Andre, Alex Arduin in the pits. Munoz in the pits. So Matt Byrne still working his magic on Tyler Farmer here in this race. Matt Byrne looking super racy in that Picasso-style paint scheme of the McLaren here. So P3, provisional P2, now under battle. As you can see, the drivers, the sparks on that Porsche when it hits. And let's see, Nightcrawler, temperature's dropping. It will be interesting. It is going to be interesting with 33 minutes left to play. Down into the second chicane, the McLaren and the Porsche looking super racy. Oh, can Matt Byrne make it stick? He knows he's going to have to put in fast lap after fast lap. Nightcrawler says traffic coming into play after the pits too. It does look like it's going to be coming. It's going to have a little bit of an interesting play with the traffic with these drivers as they come through down into the final chicane. Byrne is just giving Farmer the medicine here onto the back straight here. As Irfan still hasn't pitted yet. So right now 11 through 18 have pitted. Andre Lloyd up to P15 still has yet to pit. James Parks on the back end of Louis Bonaro. Matt Byrne's back end on the McLaren steps out. He's trying to get that rotation going. Can't tell if the Discord is getting pings or if I am. I have no idea. Ichigo says Munoz in clear air now. He is in clean air. Oh, Byrne looks on the outside. Has to check out. Farmer has to cover the inside. Byrne now pushing pressure on the Porsche driver of Farmer. Farmer going down in the second chicane. Oh, Byrne on the inside. Farmer on the outside. Side by side. Byrne makes it stick through the corner. Here comes Fulte in the BMW. Nose to tail out of the second chicane. Flashes the brights. Byrne can't believe he pulled it off. Fulte. Byrne now covers the dirt. Farmer now on the attack as they work their way up to Byrne. Down in the heavy brake zone. Fulte looks on the inside. Oh, Farmer loses the braking mark. Overshoots the corner. That's going to allow Fulte through him. Now Fulte on the attack of Byrne as they come through down into the final chicane here on this race. Can Fulte make it stick? Farmer going into the, Farmer overshot his brakes and into the pits. Looks like Farmer's going to decide to go into the pits, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Fulte on Byrne. Fulte 5/10 back from Byrne as Fulte now attacks Byrne. Oh, man, I have a tongue twister. Ugh. Curious, Nightcrawler says, curious to see if the undercut works for him. It is powerful at Zolder. Ember says, FFFFF. Yes. As Farmer now serves his pits, but he's going to be one of the front runners to serve his pit. Ichigo says, what a move. It was wonderful. Nice, clean move into the second chicane. But now the night is starting to come over, and the headlights are now going to start to play a big factor here, ladies and gentlemen. Munoz, 10.7 seconds off the pace of Andy Ali. As Munoz is now going to be trying to chase down, are doing 15 seconds off the pace of him. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. We've seen this before where the gaps are a little bit big. But towards the end of the race, that's when everything starts to happen. Ichigo says the leader could encounter traffic in a lap or two. He could encounter traffic, but right now Fulte is putting the pressure on Byrne. These two drivers were racing very patiently. I do know in the practice session, Farmer was having a hair of an issue trying to get the pace of the Porsche to stick and work, but couldn't get it to fully hold all the way through. So we see Fulte's back end break out a little bit. The leader is in the pits. McNeil is in the pits. So now that's going to put Byrne as a provisional leader here going into turn one. As they work their way through, it is getting nighttime and it is starting to cast over. So the race should end around in 9:30 p.m.-ish. So here we go. Fulte looking super strong. The question is where is Munoz? Did Munoz get him? Munoz, here he is coming down. He's into the hairpin at the end of Sector 3. We can see, Farmer coming out in front of Alex Arduin here with his pit stop. So did Munoz get Irfan? Take a look. Where's Irfan in the pit rotation? He's moving. Okay, let's take a look. Here's Munoz. He's up 6/10. He's flying, ladies and gentlemen. Across the main straight. Irfan has the fastest lap. Irfan is out. Here he comes through. Did Jaden get him? He did get him. Wow, what an amazing undercut move that he pulled off on the leader. Now, with Irfan on fresher tires, the night is dropping. Can Munoz pull it off through here in this race and around turn 3? Here they go. They're going to have Louis Benara in front of them in the Lexus. Let's take a look. Pfeiffer says, if there's spots for round 8, I'm going to wild card. Almost perfect time to pit. He was right behind the lap car by Sector 3 split. I think Munoz got him. Nerb is top tier. Oh, man, it'll be close, says Nightcrawler. As we start to see everybody rile in here. Now Alex Arduin is taking the fight to Tyler Farmer. The two Porsche drivers are doing lights on and everything in that beautiful shiny GTMR Porsche here down into the second sector. They are looking super racy. Now they're just trying to chase everybody down. Let's see, Andre Afonso is in the pits for P9. As we see Irfan 1.5 seconds off the pace. Munoz possibly could be defending as much as close. Skeppy says that was close in the chat. Here they come through here. Farmer on the fresher tires versus Arduin. Arduin on the hotter tires. Can Arduin take the fight to Farmer here? Super late into the final chicane and onto the back straight. Here they go through into turn 1. Here comes Arduin. Arduin looking super racy. Oh, Farmer super late on the brakes. You can see the front end wiggle on Arduin's car. We're going to jump into helmet cam. Hopefully there isn't an yeet moment here as we go through. Wilson Fernandez joins the race. Interesting there. He's going to be multiple laps down as we jump into helmet cam here. As Andy Ali is in the pits. Let's take a look. They're going to be catching up. James Parks here coming up to the final chicane. Ooh, Arduin now closes the gap to Farmer. James Parks definitely looking. Oh, these Porsche drivers are hauling. James Parks lets them through. Knows this isn't a battle for him. He's going to let the Porsche guys through. Here they go. Down into turn 1. They are flying, ladies and gentlemen. Arduin trying to make it stick on Farmer down into turns 2. as we see Byrne and Full T in the pits. The question is, was that enough? What is, Nightcrawler says, what is the max size grid for Zolder? The server is set to 40 drivers, so that is the most that we could have on the track at a time. As we see are doing, and the sparks are starting to pop up here at night as these drivers are working their way through the grid down into the second chicane. Ooh, Farmer covering the inside. Arduin trying the switchback. Oh, he's trying the switchback. Can he get the run? Coming up. Equal amount of space in the Porsche drivers. Here they go through the final chicane. Who's going to break late? Oh, they break at the same time. Down in the final chicane. Farmer gets him. Oh, but the back end steps out. Here comes Arduin side by side down the main straight. Here they come up to turn one. Oh, is Farmer going to give it to him? Or did Arduin? Arduin got him. Oh, what an amazing battle by these two drivers as they work their way through the grid. Artem still is yet to pit. Side by side, Farmer on the inside of Alex Arduin, the two Porsche drivers. Here they go through. Arduin allows Farmer in through the corner. He knows he's not going to make it. Nose to tail, the two Porsche drivers racing exceptionally well here as they work their way down into the first chicane. Farmer covering the inside. Arduin trying to get a run. Curb to curb to curb. The sparks are flying. People are flying. And here they come over the crest of the hill up to the second chicane. Arduin trying to work his magic on Farmer. Farmer putting his car in the middle to cover it. Arduin trying to get the better line. Slidey slide does the Porsche go. Out of the final second chicane here. And they come around up the hill into the hairpin section of this track in Sector 3. Here they go. Arduin looking super strong with Matt Artem. Now deciding to pit that Audi here as Arduin works his way out of the corner here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is just a battle for P6. Late on the brakes, Arduin goes here. He's chasing that Porsche down. Ooh, Farmer definitely not making a mistake again like he did last time. As we see Wilson Fernandez 22 laps down. Arduin is still trying to work his magic here. He's going to try the outside coming up to turn 2 and 3. Farmer covers the inside. Can he make the switchback work? He does stick it on the outside. That's going to cause Farmer to drag the brakes a little bit. Around the bend, here they go. Oh, Arduin now with the switchback again, coming into the first chicane. Here comes the drag race. Who's going to be the first person to brake? Looks like they both break at the same time. Arduin trying to get the run. Oh, the sparks. I feel bad for the Porsche mechanic because the sparks are going to be glorious. We're going to jump back down here real fast. Casey Bennett is racing Liam McNeil. Casey Bennett with Oliveira right behind them. Here comes Casey Bennett in the Porsche. Audi, Porsche. Can the Audi hold out on it? You can see the exhaust on that Audi glowing red as they come through. Into turn 3, big long sweeper, the Porsche of Casey Bennett looking super strong. As we take a look, Pfeiffer says most likely 50. Now it says Ember for Farmer here. Oh, and the Porsche of Oliveira just sends it over the curb as they work their way through. Spa and Zuka have more, but I believe the rest are all 50. Cool things. As Pfeiffer says in the chat, this game looks so good at night. It does look so good. And Skeppy says in the chat, that splitter is getting the shit kicked out of it. It is getting the shit kicked out of it, ladies and gentlemen. As these drivers work their way through the grid, everybody's bouncing around here. Irfan now sets the fastest. He still has the provisionally fastest lap here. Arduin still all over the back end of Farmer. We're going to jump back up in front. Side by side, they go up to the first chicane. Here they go through. Farmer checks out into the first chicane. Now it's Arduin's turn. And they both jump. Sparks shooting out as they race all the way through here. We're going to switch over to Farmer's view, give you the helmet cam, and show you what he's seen. now back on Munoz' tail here. As we watch these drivers still battling out. Little Taquito says, what happened to Farmer and Ardu? And that's quite the back and forth. Well, they're back, ladies and gentlemen. Little Taquito, where are you? We do not have a Bentley here. We require thy Bentley for this series. As we watch everybody go through this stint here and the drivers battle it out. Now we see Farmer has dropped back a little bit from Arduin over the pushing of the pace here. And we're going to jump along board. Here comes Casey Bennett in the Porsche as he's now battling it out. We'll keep an eye on the battle of Arduin and Farmer, as well as Irfan to Munoz. As we see the Porsche driver of Casey Bennett all over the back end of Liam McNeil trying to work his magic in this race. As they go through down into turn one, the Porsche driver of Casey Bennett took a little bit of a sabbatical. Went skiing / snowboarding. We definitely wished him the safest of travels, but we're happy to see him back here racing with us. As Liam McNeil now covering the inside. Casey Bennett going to try the inside. Liam McNeil covers the door, shuts it. We're getting fireballs, ladies and gentlemen. That's the best part of the night. I was way too tired. Says Little Taquito, I just woke up from a nap. Well, welcome to the party here. As we see, it looks like Oliveira is now reeling in these two drivers. Irfan, 5/10 back. We're going to keep an eye on that and see if it even gets even closer. Farmer now 1.4 seconds off the pace of Alex Arduin. Farmer possibly could have overran his tires. Casey Bennett still working it on Liam McNeil in that Audi. Liam definitely having a few issues back when we were racing at Barcelona for round 2. Getting a little squirrely, but he seems to tone down that car a little bit here at Zolder for round 4. Now we're going to jump along board Irfan as he is, he got past Munoz. What happened there? We're going to rewind that a little bit and see what happened. Here they go through, down up to the first chicane, the Honda Power. He's going to look up to the first chicane, late on the brakes, and it looks like, Munoz lost it a little bit. And that is going to allow Irfan through, definitely giving him as much space as possible, so that's going to allow Irfan past Munoz as they go into the second chicane in this replay here of this race. Definitely an interesting one to say the least. So now that's going to allow Irfan back into the lead. Let's take a look. Farmer is now back over Alex Arduin as this battle looks to partially, nope, it hasn't developed. And hey man, we're getting fireballs, ladies and gentlemen. That's all that matters. Let's take a look. Casey Bennett now with Oliveira right behind him. Now, Jonathan Oliveira trying to make something happen. Looked like Andrew Cooper had a little bit. Ooh, Oliveira looking super strong right behind Casey Bennett. As Casey Bennett now trying to hold off the other Porsche driver. This, for ladies and gentlemen, is a battle for P7 with 8 in the middle of P9. As we go through, 7, 8, 9, yeah, that's about right. As we come through into the hairpin, the Porsche driver is trying to make it stick here as they go through. Where's Chrysler Door in the background as they work their way through the grid. Looks like Munoz lost a lot of pace. He's now down 1.1 seconds. Farmer, something happened to Farmer. Looks like Farmer is out of the race. What a shame there. He was looking for a very strong top 10 finish here in the championship. As we see here, as we go through, Casey Bennett now taking the fight to McNeil. Oliveira drop back. He's trying not to overheat his tires as he races through. Munoz now down to a second. It's jumping back and forth between a second or so in this race. Here. As we go through here and onto the backstring. Sorry. Now up to the second chicane. Let's see Casey Bennett working his magic here in the grid as they go through. Looking super spicy, I have to say. Oh, Casey Bennett loses the back. Looks like Olivier tapped the back end of him. He's going to allow Casey Bennett to continue for the battle. That is a bit of a gentleman's racing there. And here comes Chrysler York. Olivier definitely knowing not that he didn't mean to do that there, so he's going to allow it through. Now that's going to allow Chrysler York, the P10 driver, to bring the battle in towards them here in this race, as we see Olivier now covering the inside on Chrysler York. So now the McLaren driver of Chrysler York taking the battle here as they work their way through the grid. Looking super strong, I have to say. These drivers are definitely doing wonderful here in this race. Sword and Keyboard says nothing in the chat, just hits enter. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, triple thumbs up. Took it a while to update. As we watch the drivers work their way through Chrysler York, 510s backs, Alex Afonso trying to catch up to Andy Ali. Munoz definitely lost a lot of time with 15 minutes left to play here in this race. The nighttime is definitely overshadowing a lot of these drivers here. X Skeppy says Xbox needs more of the gentleman agreement as well. I think it's just definitely a strong suit of racing when, you know, if you make an accident tapping someone's rear, to just kind of hold up and move over to the side and just be, without being egregious and just plowing through someone and keep going. But hey, here we go. Chrysler York losing a little bit of time. We got Alex Afonso now all over them. He actually made it through Andy Alia. Here comes your leader, Irfan. He's trying to make it through the grid. And then we have Louis Benara back there as well. Andre Afonso. So this is going to be a little bit of a cluster here for the leaders as they come through. Munoz is definitely going to try to make it, you know, try to get through here as Louis Benara working his way through the grid, sitting there P13. Power slide there from Munoz. And it looks like the leader, something happened to the leader there. Now here comes Munoz. Munoz in the battle. Munoz makes the attack. Irfan falls behind. Now Irfan now on the attack of Munoz. I don't know what's going on, if they're battling each other or if they're trying to let the grid through. If they're trying to get through the grid. This is definitely an interesting one as Irfan now covers the inside. Munoz trying to get the move. He's going to have to catch the brakes a little bit coming into the corner. Andy Ali moves out of the way to let them through. Munoz is once trying the inside, switches back to the outside. Irfan covers the inside as they go through the chicane. Ooh, Munoz has to cover the brakes super hard. Here comes Andy Ali right behind P2. He's going to want to try to make a move, but doesn't want to ruin his race because now he's got Louis Benara right behind him chasing into this battle. As Andy Ali definitely getting a bit of the short end of the stick. Munoz, ooh, the sparks shooting up. Aiden Hasselbrock trying to make it stick here as we see Irfan. Seems like he's playing with Munoz a little bit. He was falling back a little bit, but manages to pull up the pace and push it. Here now to 1.1 seconds. Honda's definitely finding the pace. Chrysler York half a second away from Oliveira. But we also have, let's take a look. There's Chrysler York working his way on the rear end. Where is Louis Benara? Louis Benara's right there. He's going to allow Alex Arduin through here in this race. As he goes through, Munoz is definitely... He's right there. He's still trying to make it stick there. So who is behind? Oh, that's Wilson Fernandez. I apologize. Wilson Fernandez right behind Andy Ali. He knows he does not want to get into the way of the driver, of the McLaren driver. So he's just running his laps through here in this race. Let's jump back down to Chrysler York here with 11 minutes to play. Right now, this battle with Oliveira as they go through. Casey Bennett fell back a little bit, which I'm kind of shocked with. Should have seen that coming. So I apologize with that. As the pit window is about to close, is Byrne coming into the picture now? They've eaten 2 seconds the last lap, 3 seconds now. Let's take a look. Matt Byrne is 6.6 seconds off the pace. He's going through sector 2 right now, and the leaders right now are coming up to the hairpin as well. So he could find more pace if they eat a little bit more. He could find a little bit more pace. Irfan is still struggling to get past Andre Afonso. Irfan now down on the inside. Andre Afonso allowing him, like, hey, I'm going to be going over here as the 886 of Jake Johnson. Looks like he's having a few issues around the track here. What a shame there as they go into turn 1. Definitely see what's going on with Jake Johnson. Looks like there's a bit of a crash, ladies and gentlemen, as they go through. Munoz definitely through. Jaden Munoz definitely through here as well. They're working their way through the grid. Let's take a look. Where are the close battles? We've got 9 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. Oh, Casey Bennett. He's right over the back end of Chrysler York. Definitely throwing himself over the curbs. Don't see any more sparks out of his rear end. The amount of times he's probably chucked it and lost it. Down into the first chicane. We see the red Porsche go here. Everybody holding in through the race. Let's take a look. Who else do we have battling it out now? Munoz down 2.1 seconds. Burton was originally 6.2, so Burton's taken off 0.8 to Munoz as he tried to chase down the front of the grid. What an amazing showing by the two new drivers here at GTMR. Definitely a P2, P3. Art Nguyen having a little bit of a hiccup mistake here in this race with the restart from the first turn pile up in turn 3. As we see Casey Bennett work his way around turn 2, coming up to turn 3. He's definitely going to try to chase that McLaren as they approach. Let's take a look. Any closer battles? Let's take a look. Let's say Jake Johnson. He is right there in the all-pink BMW. Where's James Parks? The camo McLaren working his way through Sector 2, coming up to the hairpin in Sector 3. Definitely an amazing ride. So we're going to run down the order now as we see the race leader, Mr. Mohammed Irfan, looking super strong. He's going to be chasing Jake Johnson here, trying to get his way through the grid. Jaden Munoz definitely trying to hope that something helps him out here in this race. As we go down the grid here, here comes Matt Byrne into the second chicane as well, followed by Gabriel Folty. Alex Arduin, P5, Matt Artem, P6, Liam McNeil, P7. Then we have Jonathan Oliveira, P8, Chrysler York, P9. Chrysler York now getting attacked by Casey Bennett again, coming through onto the mainstream. So the grid is definitely getting its work cut out with the battles here in this race. We still have 17 drivers, 16 original, 17. Wilson Fernandez was the late join, but he's been nice enough to move out of the way of the grid as they go through. Bennett and York looking like they're matching brakes right now. Munoz off the pace by 2.4. Let's take a look. Bird now 5.5 off the pace of Munoz. So Bird could get him towards the end of the race with it, the timer counting down with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to play, everybody. Right now, this is the closest battle on track that we have is Casey Bennett working on Chrysler York. Chrysler York covers the inside. As we see Casey Bennett, 2/10, man. He is just trying to make it stick here in the Porsche. The temps have gone down by 1 degree Celsius. 3 if you include the start of the race. And here is the leader, Irfan, right behind them with, you see, Jaden Munoz right behind him, chasing them down. So this is going to definitely be an interesting one. These two drivers are battling for position. with Irfan right behind him trying to make something stick. So if Irfan can catch them in the closing hours and get past, he could help Casey Bennett in this battle overall here towards the end of the season. Burn, Skeppy says in the chat, Burn is pushing like crazy. He is. He's now 5.8 seconds, but Munoz is pushing back to him. Oh, now Burn 6.2. Did Burn have a little bit of an issue? Here comes Irfan. They're getting the blue flag. The drivers, this is not F1, so the drivers do not have to move automatically, because right now this is a battle for position that these two drivers are having. Casey Bennett coming through over the hill. He's going to slot out of the way, allow the leader through, hopefully get the leader to help him out in this battle as they come through the hairpin. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. And here we go. Okay, so here they come down the main straight. 4 minutes and 5 left to play. Are doing now down to 2 seconds on the lap. Jake Johnson all over the back end of Andrew Lloyd. Looks like Jake Johnson lost a little bit of that pace that he was looking for originally. Casey Bennett still looking super strong. Munoz still in the back there. Looks like Byrne is checking out. Oliveira now is catching McNeil. So now you see the freight train behind them with Munoz. Munoz, he's right there. Irfan right here. Irfan right behind York. Irfan's trying to get past York without causing a little bit of an issue. He squeezes by, so that's now going to allow Chrysler York. He's going to have to check up and defend against Casey Bennett down into the second chicane. Now here comes P2. The drivers are working their way through the grid and trying to hold off as they come through. Definitely a huge shout out to all the viewers watching. Hopefully this race has been nothing but spectacular for you, as it has for me in the series here so far for round 4. Here they go through onto the little short shoot main straight before they reach the final chicane. Casey Bennett definitely wanting something to stick here with Munoz right behind him. Casey's going to let him through. Casey's going to hope for Munoz to take the push for him to help him out. Here they go through turns 2. I really feel like this is turn 2 and 3. And then they're coming up to turn 4. I really feel that. But hey, Jonathan Oliveira now 4/10 back from McNeil. There's the leaders in the back, and that other battle now happening. Here goes Oliveira. He's going to try it with the Porsche to send it. Doesn't make it stick. He's got the rain light on as they come through. Number 89. Jonathan Oliveira down into the second chicane. Ooh, gets a beautiful run on the Audi. McNeil having to check out of it. Oh, get a beautiful run on the inside with the Porsche. Here they come through. Oh, a little bit of a tap. Oh. Ooh. Here they go through. Oliveira is going to wait for the grid to go. Oh, that was a close one. Ooh, Oliveira is going to have to try to not get into. Oh. Ooh. That hurt my soul a little bit there. Ooh. Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to just jump back. Ooh, Chrysler York trying to recover his race here in the final chicane, moving out of the way for the remaining grid as they make their way through this order here. There goes Oliveira as they come through. What a shame on Chrysler York's race as Casey Bennett now onto the main straight. Let's take a look. Trying to follow everybody. Munoz, P2, Byrne, P3, Byrne now. Byrne is 2.7 seconds off the pace of Munoz after that issue coming out of that second chicane there. But this is what brings the darkness. The darkness brings a little bit of uncertainty here in this race. Here as now Oliveira is going to work on Andre Afonso here in this battle. Alex are doing the P5 driver, trying to get through the grid. You're in the back there as well. And here they go through Olivier now allowing Alex Arduin through here. He's going to have a lot of engine damage, but now Chrysler, Yor, and Olivier are going to be battling it out as they work their way through. Matt Byrne still 2.2 seconds off the pace. Jake Johnson with a drive-through. Oh, Munoz now 7.2 seconds. The race is concluded. Let's take a look. Where is the leader in this race, ladies and gentlemen? Here he comes through the final chicane. He's going to be crossing the line. And then we'll be jumping along board Casey Bennett when he crosses the line. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your final lap and your race winner, Mohammed Irfan, in his return. We're going to be jumping along board Casey Bennett. He's going to be working his way on McNeil. There goes Matt Byrne. Matt Byrne crosses the line. McNeil finishes. Casey Bennett finishes. Munoz finishes. Full T finishes. Now we're starting to see all the drivers cross the line and finish. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. Where are the other drivers? Here comes Matt Artem through. He is still on a flyer, ladies and gentlemen, as he's coming through here. Ooh, Louis Benara is racing. Where is Louis Benara? Louis Benara with the front end damage on that Mercedes. Ooh, the lights are flickering from the damage. He is still racing. He has James Parks in front of him. This is a battle for position, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, ooh, he has a lot of damage. The lights are busted and broken. Louis gets a drive-through towards you. All he has to do is finish the race. Oh, he has so much front-end damage. You can tell he's oh. He has definitely got a lot of damage on that Mercedes. It cannot break. Ooh. You can definitely see the front end there bouncing around. What a shame there. Hopefully Louis can still bring it home here in this race. The sparks are flying. What a beautiful race by these drivers. What a huge shout out I have to give to all the viewers watching and being a part of it. It's truly amazing to have you guys all part of this race. Louis now onto the main straight as he's approaching the line. Here he goes. And he crosses the line, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing battle. Amazing battle. Huge shout out to all the drivers partaking and participating, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Exia. It has been a pleasure to have all of the viewers watching and racing. Huge shout out to Mohammed Irfan, where you P1, JD Muniz P2, Matt Byrne P3, Full T P4, Alex Arduin P5, Matt Artin P6, Liam McNeil 7, Casey Bennett bringing it into P8. Huge shout out to all the drivers being a part and showing up and racing. Definitely check us out next Friday. We will be going to... let's take a look. We will be going to the Hungaroring, ladies and gentlemen. As well as, if I'm correct, based on the calendar, next week... Yes, next week we'll be starting our Xbox series. I apologize. Xbox will be starting on January 8th. For those that would like to participate, definitely check out on thesimgrid.com for Xbox. You will definitely get a chance to take a huge shout out and see. We are definitely going to be, it's definitely going to be an amazing one to say the least for that as we go through. And we will definitely be checking out everybody else. They race at, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Xbox, so that's definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least. And yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys for everything so far this season. It's all for you guys. Thank you very much.